Hi guys, this is Ariana, and I'm here doing my June TBR. I can't believe it's June already. This is crazy, but it is already June, so I'm going to talk about the books I'm going to be reading regularly, the books I'm going to be reading in my Buzzwordathon TBR, and the books I'm going to be reading in my Romanceathon TBR. The first book I'm reading in June is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm really excited about this book, and I've heard a lot of good things. I'm going to be reading it on audiobook, actually. And so The Poet X is about a girl living in New York City. She is, I believe, Afro-Latina, and so she is just discussing her experiences as someone who's questioning Christianity. She's falling in love for the first time, and she's writing slam poetry, and so all those things that intertwine. And this book is written in verse, so I'm really interested to read it and see how it goes. The second book I have already started this month is, there we go, Classic Christianity Illustrated. This is just a book of collection of Christian doctrine, Christian stories, and theological teaching. As a Christian, I feel it's important to read Christian things, engage myself in Christian thought, and just kind of explore a bit. I haven't done a lot of reading of Christian books, fiction or nonfiction, so I'm just kind of dipping my toe in with this. This is a gift from a friend, so I'm really excited to read it. The third book I'm going to be reading in June is The Queen of the Tearland by Erica Johansson. So I just started this book today, actually, and it's interesting thus far. The Queen of the Tearland starts and explores the life of this girl named Kelsey, who is becoming queen. She has reached the age of maturity, so she's now going to become queen after her mother died when she was quite young. And so it follows the politics of this country tier and all of the issues that she faces becoming queen, and learning about the political court and the political landscape that she hasn't experienced because she was raised somewhere else. And so we'll see. I haven't read a lot of YA fantasy in a while, and so I'm really excited to get back into it because I do miss it. I just kind of wandered off and did other stuff, so now I'm excited to get back to this genre. So this would be the fourth book I want to read in June, and this is the one book I'm probably least likely to get to. This is The Violinist's Thumb by Sam Kean. So this book looks at the history and the science of genetics, of how we learned about genetics, what we know about genetics now, and questions that we face in the future. I've read Sam Kean before. I read another one of his books in May. I love the way that Sam Kean talks about science, scientists, researchers, and he explores how scientific discoveries were made. So if you're interested in learning about the history of science, highly recommend his books because they're really good, and he's done books on various subjects. So if you have an interest in the periodic table and chemistry, he has one about that. He has one about biology, and I believe he has one that I haven't read about air, and so the atmosphere, and so I'm interested to see that one as well. The fifth book I would like to read in June is The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta. So in this book, this girl has magical abilities. She has several. I believe she can turn people into mirrors. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know much about it. I didn't read the synopsis that well because I don't want to be spoiled. And so, but the one thing about her is that she's a strega, so she can go between male and female. She can switch between genders. And so in this book, she meets a boy who encourages her to use her strega abilities instead of hide them, as she's been doing currently. And so she starts to explore that when disaster strikes, and she has to go set out and save her family and save the kingdom, all pretending to be a boy. And I'm really excited to play with gender in this book a bit, since it is June and it is Pride Month. I would like to support the LGBTQ community. I haven't done enough of that in my reading, and I really want to get into books that deal with gender and sexuality more, because that's something I haven't read much about, and I feel it's really important. The sixth book I want to read in June is The Pale Rider, The Spanish Flu of 1918 and How It Changed the World by Laura Spinney. I've heard good things about this. Laura Spinney is a science writer, so she does know what she's talking about, and I don't know a lot about the Spanish flu, and I don't think a lot of people know much about the Spanish flu, because for a lot of people I think it's overshadowed by World War I, and I know it was important, I just don't know how, and so I'm really interested to read this book and learn about how the Spanish flu has affected history, and how we deal with influenza and epidemics of diseases. I enjoy science writing, if you can't tell, and as a psychology major, the one way I get a lot of it is through reading books like these. The next couple books I have are for Buzzwordathon. So this is run by Kayla for Books and Lala, and so I'm really interested to do her Buzzwordathon. This will be my first readathon that I've ever done, so I'm not gonna strain myself. For this round of Buzzwordathon, the word is you, so I have 3 books picked out to read that have the word you in them. The first one is a good old classic. I'm reading As You Like It by William Shakespeare. This will be a reread for me. I read this for my intro English class in university. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy writing essays about it, but I'd like to reread it again because Shakespeare's always fun. And since it is a play, I feel like even though it's in complex language, it'll still be a good thing to read and get through in a readathon. The second book I want to read for Buzzwordathon with you is No One Understands You and What to Do About It by Heidi Grant Halverson. So this is nonfiction, and it's written by a social psychologist and looks at the difference between how we perceive ourselves and how other people perceive ourselves. I haven't read a lot of psychology outside of university, and I feel it's really important to enrich myself and my knowledge by reading widely from psychology just to further my educational goals. And this sounds really interesting, and it fits Buzzwordathon, so I'm really excited. Haven't picked it up from the library yet, so I will be doing that soon. The next book I want to read is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. This is a fun little YA romance novel where our main character has an anonymous pen pal that she's writing to back and forth with on her desk, which I don't condone. And so she falls in love with him. It's cutesy. I'm excited. So Buzzwordathon runs from June 12th to 18th. And so then Romanceathon overlaps with that because it starts on the 17th, I believe, as a crossover between Buzzwordathon and Romanceathon. So the other 2 books that I'll be reading for Romanceathon are The Lines We Cross by Randall Abdel Fattah, which he's a Muslim author, and I apologize if I got that name wrong. The Lines We Cross is about a boy who comes from anti-immigrant background who meets a Muslim girl from Afghanistan who has faced immense pressure and who came to the United States to escape her situation there in Afghanistan, and then he falls in love with her, and then the consequences that ensue. I can tell that this is going to be a bit more hard-hitting, and I'm really excited for that. Third book that I want to read for Romanceathon is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This one's a bit more well-known. 2 boys are at a writing seminar. One is who comes from the conservative background, who is helping to run the seminar, and the other who is trying to write, from what I understand, is a novel. I'm really interested to see its portrayal of Mormonism in this book because I know that sometimes handling of religion can be done poorly from a variety of different perspectives, and so I'm really excited to see how this is handled by Christina Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. If you're going to be participating in Romanceathon or Buzzwordathon, let me know in the comments down below. I'd really love to hear what your TBR is for those 2 readathon challenges. I know I'm not going real hard on these. I'm only doing 3 each, but I'm really excited to see how it goes doing my first readathons. So let me know what you're going to be reading, and I will talk to you guys later.